as you can see, all the laundry piled up behind me. But I feel like I haven't recorded anything in a while, just because I've been with schoolwork and I haven't really been picking up any books. So right now I'm currently in the middle of reading Never, which is a part of my January TBR. The train got really loud, hold on. I'm in the middle of reading Never, but I'm reading this for a different video. So I don't want to talk too much about this book in this video. I'm also started reading this, and I feel like I'm gonna have to read A Little Life very slowly, simply because the fact that this book is just sad. So, if you're wondering what that has to do with anything, by now you've seen the title, so you should know that this is me trying to find a 5-star read. Okay, my last 5-star reads, I always feel so weird giving autobiographies like 5 stars, because how do you rate somebody's life? But I feel like it just, because I love like Viola Davis, and then like learning more about Britney Spears, they were just such good reads. Like, some may argue the writing or whatever, I don't care. They were really good, and I listened to it on Audible, so I don't have the actual copy of the books. I don't have the physical copies of the books. So, but they were amazing. And then before that, I read The Ballad of Never After, which I gave 5 stars, and I kind of feel like there was another one that I gave 5 stars, but I can't think of it. But I've been having a really good reading month, and now I feel like it's kind of just like tampered off. So I thought it would be fun for this video, and the point of saying all this and letting you know the books I'm in the middle of is that I'm going to be reading until I find another 5-star, because I just thought it would be fun to do. So this pile here are books that I want to read in February. Obviously not all of them. I was trying to do a fun little TBR challenge. Didn't work. So I'm trying to find another way to choose from that big old pile, the like 6 or 7 books that I'll be reading. Plus there's a book that I'm already going to be reading, The 7-Year Slip, for my book group. So that's already set. So probably like maybe 6 books from there, plus the 1 book. So that'll be like 7 books. Or A Curse for True Love. Okay. So I think it's only fair that since today is Sunday and a cleaning day, and we start off, you know, I think it's only fair that today, since it's a cleaning day, and now that I have the audio, this book, you know, it's only right that we take off the dust jacket and we start listening to it while I clean. I think that's the best bet. I don't know if this is gonna be a 5-star, to be completely honest with you guys, but I think we're gonna start here. Again, I'm also reading this. I also just downloaded this on my Kindle because I've been highlighting and annotating it, so I thought I could move a little bit faster on this with my Kindle so that I can get the video up for this. So I will be reading both of these right now and seeing if either one of these are a contender. Right now, I feel like it's not a contender for 5 stars because I'm liking it. Again, you're gonna hear more of my thoughts on this book in another video, so I'm gonna be very vague. I'm liking it, but it's not 5 stars. It's just not, I think. So I thought it would be fun to do this. I'm trying not to reach from this pile because I really want to figure out my February TBR. It's still January, obviously, when I'm starting to film this, and that was on my January TBR, those 2 books. So a little spoiler already. I am not finishing A Little Life. Also, speaking of that, I thought for this video, it's just been sitting there because this is part of my January TBR. So I could either do a Throne of Glass here as well, but then I've been aching to do Crescent City, the first one. So I feel like those are possible contenders. I know everyone says after ACOTAR you should read Throne of Glass, but I just am really aching to read Crescent City just because like I have both of them, and then the third one is out. Whereas Throne of Glass, it's 8 books. I only have 3. I read The Assassin's Blade. I loved that. I think I gave it like a 4.25 or something like that. Like, it was really good. So I'm aching to get back into that world, but I really feel like I'm aching to get back into like Crescent City. Like, I want to read that one so bad. Don't know if that's gonna be a 5-star either, but I'm such a mood reader. So yeah, I think we're gonna start, like I said, with this. We're gonna listen to this while we get some cleaning done. So I'll see about getting some footage of me reading, but you know, I'm still recording on my phone, so it's gonna be a little hard to like give you footage right now because I'm cleaning and I'm listening to the audiobook on my phone. So like, if I am recording, that it's not gonna be easy for me to get footage. So maybe later tonight when I actually sit down and read, I don't know what book it will be, but yeah, so we're starting this in January. We'll see where it goes and when I get my 5-star. Oh, awesome. I'm a little sad and down, so I feel like I also haven't been posting anywhere because of that. So my fiance took me to Barnes & Noble, so I got 3 books here. So I feel like these are also contenders. So yeah, let's just talk about all the contenders for this book, possibly. Again, because I'm such a mood reader, so we'll see. This is obviously going to go into February, so I think those 3. I'm just gonna pull from the February TBR, and then maybe I'll add some more books from my TBR cart there, and I'll have like my fiance choose or something like that, because I just can't think of what to do for the February TBR. So I think contenders, Magnolia Park. I've been dying to read this. I was trying to keep this in like a February, hence why I was over there, but I've been dying to read this because I've also been dying to rewatch Gossip Girl. So Window, which is like a gothic fantasy, I heard, so you kind of really have to be in the mood to read this book, and I am really in the mood to read this book. So then we have Kinder by Octavia Butler. I've heard nothing but good things about this book. This is sci-fi, and sci-fi is one of the genres that I really want to get into this year. So we got this. Then we have the 5th season, which is also supposed to be like sci-fi, like end of the world. And I love books like that. So we have this. I also have this on Hold On Libby too. So we'll see. And then last but not least, I think this is my most anticipated one. So I don't know, I feel like I kind of should save this one for last to see if it is a 5-star, but then I feel like that's cheating because I feel like this is a 5-star, but we'll see. This is Faebound. Look at the cover. This is so beautiful. It's supposed to be like Afro-Caribbean fantasy, like I think sci-fi, just like everything like in this cute little book here. And they only have 3 copies, or like they have 4 copies, and I think they were already 3 of them were already purchased at Barnes & Noble. So I had the lady looking for me, and we found the 1 copy. So I feel like it was a sign that I was meant to read this book, and I'm super excited. This is such a huge pile here, but I'm not planning to read, well, I am planning to read all of them. Just not right now, maybe not for this video. But we'll see, because the point is to try to get to a 5-star. So we'll see if the contenders of this video contenders, I feel like this is like a little Hunger Game kind of thing, like made the odds be forever in these books' favor to see which one's a 5-star. So we'll see. We're gonna put our hair up, go downstairs, start the cleaning, and I will update you guys. It's much later, like much later. I cleaned the kitchen, so we did that, did laundry, those kind of things. And while I was doing that, I was listening to A Curse for True Love. I'm loving it so far. You know, Evangeline is still, is that how you say her name? I always struggle with saying her name, so I feel like I cut it out a lot. But Evangeline She's still kind of struggling. If you haven't read the series at all, then this is kind of a little bit of a spoiler, because you have to read the other 2 books to get to this point. But if you read book 2, then so it's not really kind of a spoiler. Like, if you finished it, she's still struggling with the fact that she's struggling with her memory. Okay, so I think this is really I like it. We now have the point of views of Jack and Apollo. I'm still trying to decide if that's spoilery or not. I'm trying to remember things, right? And we now have different points of view in here that I actually like, because we get to see, like, inside of what they were thinking, whereas the first 2 books we didn't get that. And as always, I really love the writing style of this book. Again, this is very YA, so I'm kind of sort of gravitating slowly out of YA, with me being in my late 20s now, almost early 30s, 28. So almost early 30s. I feel like I am leaning less and less against YAs. Not that I still won't read them, because sometimes they're just like cute little palette refreshers. So again, with this being YA, I did rate the second one 5 stars, so I was hoping, especially the way that it ended, that this would be 5 stars. So I'm not getting that 5-star feeling from this book. I love it. I love what we're finding out. But I was kind of hoping that this would be more like, there'd be like more romance, because it's just been building. I mean, I am chapter 16, like 127 pages in. I don't know, I just want like I wanted this to be more like romance, but I guess with the ending, I don't know how I expected it to be. That, like, obviously, like, things still have to get resolved, but I just really, I don't know, I guess I kind of wanted it to be like a quick fix so we could get more of the romance, with I'm hoping to get a lot of slumps lately. And I don't know if that's just because I'm coming into like my taste of books and what I really like and what I'm really gravitating towards, and maybe that's why like it slumps me out. Because a 5-star to me is definitely something I cannot, well, even if I can take a break from it and like start another book and stuff like that, I'm still constantly always still thinking of that book. I'm thinking about the writing. Like, it's just, I want to be so involved into this world. I'm telling my fiance about it, and he's just like, no. Like, I think he doesn't pay attention, but he actually is starting to pay attention, which I love. But yeah, I'm telling him all about it because he's like the only person who listens to me. So we're gonna switch back to Never. This is a Peter Pan retelling. I did download it on my Kindle because I just want to hold my Kindle. I think I do need to charge it too, so I'll have to charge this tonight after I read on here for a little bit. I'll have to remember, like, as I fall asleep to charge this. But we're gonna be continuing on into this. I'm like 88 pages in, but I'm also doing a book where I am like thoroughly going through here, so I'm also like annotating and highlighting. So it's nice to have on the Kindle too, because I feel like I can highlight and annotate faster, and then I can just transfer it here into the book, and I can just have annotations everywhere, which I love. Okay, you guys, this is like such a weird angle, simply because I have nowhere to put you right now in this car. Okay, I thought I would just give you like an update because I just came back from the allergist and I worked this morning, so oh my god, so tired, you guys. I don't know, I'm just so tired. Like, I still have to go to Target and do some other stuff, so I honestly don't even feel like doing any of that. I have to cook dinner. I have so much to do. But as far as where we are in this video. We are now, I have the book with me, so we can talk about it. Page 300. We are 36 chapters in, page 300. So that means I have like 99 more pages, because this is literally exactly 400 pages. So I have 99 more pages left before I finish this book. A Curse for True Love. I have been switching between audio and reading, because obviously I had to drive to my allergist and I have to drive to Target and some other places. So we've been switching back and forth between audio and actually physically reading it. And I will say that I'm loving it. I was confused at one part. And if I tell you what part that was, it would be a spoiler. So I was a little bit confused. Let me just scoot my body closer to the steering wheel. Okay. So yeah, I was a little bit confused in a couple parts of this book, and I found that I had to like keep like looking up on like Google, like what is going on, because I was a little bit confused, and I'm like, I swear, like I've read all 3 books and I paid attention, but I'm lost. Like I paid attention all the way. Like I'm loving this series. I gave the last book 5 stars. So I'm like, why am I confused right now? I'm like, what? Who is this? Why did they do that? But now we're back on track, because it did get explained, which yay, because I'm like, am I just losing it? Am I losing it? Is that what's going on? I'm just going insane a smidge. But it was explained, and I was like, okay, great, because I was confusion. It's still not giving me a 5-star feeling, like at all. The last book was 5 stars for sure. Okay, let me hold you, 'cause I'm not. Okay, so you guys, I left off yesterday with like a cliffhanger because I realized that I was in the car talking to you guys about this book, and then I never came back and said anything else, because I literally said nothing after that clip, and I'm like, I don't know why. I don't know. But last time I was talking to you guys, I was telling you about how I was almost done with this book and how I thought I would just finish it that same day. I did not do that. I finished it today. Okay. Was not a 5-star. My thoughts on it was cute. I loved, well, I wouldn't say I like loved it, but I did like how it kind of came together. This again is YA. I did give the second book 5 stars, The Ballad of Never After. I'm giving this a 4. I just wish we had more of the main character with Jax. Like I know we had to like solve and get things figured out and situated, but that still doesn't change the fact that I just wanted more of the romance between them to like blossom. I feel like it was just not enough. I'm still in the middle of Never. I did pick this up on my Kindle, so I'm not sure. I think I'm almost halfway through. And it's gonna take me even longer with this, because once I highlight my Kindle, I'm gonna transfer this over. So I'm kind of just having fun taking my time and annotating this, because a lot of times I feel like I would stress myself out when I was annotating, and I wasn't like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm still reading this book. But you know, when you annotate, it takes longer, because like you're highlighting, you're underlining, you're doing the annotation things. And I'm going to talk more about this in a different video, like I said. So I don't want to keep like bringing this up in here, but I am still reading this. I'm almost halfway through. So I was thinking I either wanted to pick this up, but then I know I'm doing another video for this book. So I was like, maybe I should pick up a different book. And so I have so many options. I could start with Kinder, because it's only like 264 pages. So this is really short. So I could start with this. I could also start with Faybound. This is like $3.70. So this isn't too long either. I mean, neither is Never, but then again, I am highlighting and annotating it, so it does take longer. I could also start with Magnolia Parks. But the two I'm leaning towards, and I feel like I should start these at the same time, but I'm reading Never, so that's right. You know, I don't want to get too confused. I think with Never, it would be hard to get confused because this is Peter Pan, but if I add like these two, because they're both like fantasy, I feel like it might be harder to, you know, choose. But I kind of want to pick up both of them and just see. So I think I might do that because both have been weighing heavy on my heart. One Dark Window and Crescent City. And I know I had started Assassin's Blade and I was thinking about doing Throne of Glass. But with everyone's out talking about the Crescent City and the fact that I also have this on audio, I kind of want to just like do a binge read, but then I feel like, is that cheating for this video? Or should I change the title of not trying to find a 5-star? Because I feel like I might just want to, because the third one is already out, I might just want to finish this and then go into the second one and then have the third one, because I actually will be up to date in the series, whereas the series that I'm reading right now, like they already are either complete or there's gonna be a while before books come out, like new books come out. So my heart is telling me to read Crescent City because I had to hide my group chat today because everybody is reading the third one and I have the audio for this, so I can knock this out faster than if I didn't have the audio. But I don't have the audio for book 2, so either way it would take me a while to get through book 2. But I also could download book 2 on my Kindle too and go back. But I feel like I need to finish this because I'm going back and forth between this and my Kindle. So I think definitely we're gonna do this. I don't know which one to do because they both seem so good. We're gonna choose real time here. I'm gonna close my eyes. You can see it right here. I'm gonna close my eyes and I'm gonna pick for you guys. Let me put these on. Okay. Okay, we have 2 here. We're gonna blindly choose. We're gonna blindly choose, okay? Because we're gonna close our eyes and then we're gonna just eeny, meeny, miny, moe. I don't even remember how eeny, meeny, miny, moe goes. I feel like that would have made more sense if I had 3 books because then it would have been like a little bit harder. Or maybe more challenging or more, I don't know. But this is the winner. And this actually makes me really excited because, like I said, I have audio for this. So if this is not a 5-star, this might be a 5-star. And there's also a second book to this. So I can always just go ahead and pick up the second book to this one if I really just need to finish it and this is a 5-star. Or, like I said, neither of these could be a 5-star, but I highly doubt that they will be anything lower than a 4, honestly, because these are just anticipated reads for me. I don't know, but I did hear a negative review recently on One Dark Window, so that kind of scares me. I have not heard anything bad about this right now. I think this especially because number 3 came out, and I should have pre-ordered the 3rd one, but I didn't think I would get along. Like didn't think I would get around to reading this book because I thought I was gonna do Throne of Glass, but you know, I've heard people say that you can read Crescent City after ACOTAR. I just made my iced coffee. I would argue that this is mostly just oat milk and white chocolate creamer because there was like absolutely nothing. Like, this was just like a shot. Done, but I'm gonna start this French toast here and drink my coffee, and then I have to run upstairs and get my headphones so that I can listen to the audio. Last night, as you see, I got some footage of me reading Crescent City, and I am literally eating this book up. It has potential to be a 5-star. I think so. It has potential. I will be shocked to see what I give it if it is less than 5 stars, but it definitely has a potential. But I could see myself giving it a little bit lower simply because I had started reading this a little while back and I couldn't really get into it. And I think part of the reason why I couldn't get into it, reading it now, is that it's a lot. So there are so many different type of, I don't even know how to describe it. So there's humans, there's fae, there's shapeshifters, there's demons, there's archangels, and then there's underneath the archangels are angels who are like detectives. And you know, then the main character, Bryce, she's half fae, half human, and so you know there's mixing of the breed, of the different breeds. So it gets a little bit confusing because you're just like, wait, there's a wolf, and then there's vampires, and then there's like lion shape shifters and angels and demons, and this guy Briggs who is supposed to be like, I guess, really, really dangerous, and it's a lot, and you really have to like focus and hone into it, which is why I think I did get lost, because I started with the audiobook and then last night I actually picked it up and was reading, and you really have to pay attention. And sometimes with audiobooks, you know, they are easy to pay attention to, but sometimes like if you get into something, you may like lose focus and not pay attention to a certain part, and maybe that was making it a little bit harder to enjoy in the beginning, the first time I picked it up. So we're gonna listen to the audio while I make French toast. And Yeah, so we're gonna go from there. We have all the ingredients. I have to just run upstairs and get my headphones so that I can have it in. Just one headphone in because the kids are getting hungry. So we'll see how much of that I get read. And then probably tonight, sometime I will try to read this in bed before I go to sleep. Okay, y'all, so my phone's about to die. So I'm gonna try and make this like really like quick. Cause I haven't updated you guys since I started Crescent City, okay? I have finished it. I don't have the book with me, it's downstairs. I am back to say it was not 5 stars. As you can guess, I feel like you probably could guess because it would be a little bit of a different, like I probably would have the book with me to let you guys know. I did give it a 4.25. I'm currently watching Carrie Can Read, like her summary of it. I did the same thing with ACOTAR just because I love her summaries, and I actually watched her videos like months after finishing ACOTAR, and I just love them. Like, I don't know why this time I started immediately after. I just feel like everything immediately went out of my brain, and a 4.25 is a good rating. Like, you know, not 5 stars, but it was really good. Just like all the thoughts went out of my head. And so that was not a 5 star, clearly. So right now I'm gonna pick up these 2 books here. Act Your Age, Eve Brown. If you've, my February TBR is definitely up by now, and I feel like I've kind of been slumping, and just because it's now February like 5th or 6th or something, like 5th. Yeah, I think it's February 5th, and I just now finished my first book of February. Still have not finished Never, but that's just because I need to type some stuff up about it because I'm working on a whole separate thing. So we're just not even gonna include that. So we're gonna pick up Act Your Age, Eve Brown, and I don't think this is gonna be 5 stars, so this would be really shocking if it is a 5 star. This is just part of my TBR, and I'm gonna start working on my TBR, especially because I'm in the mood to read romance. It's February, and next week will be Valentine's Day, so I hope to just indulge in a lot of romance and some romanticities. So we're also gonna start One Dark Window. Yes, we're gonna start these books for this week. It's a new week, so we're starting 2 books, and usually I can do 2 books in a week. I also still have Never going on in the background, but for a different video. So we'll see if I can finish 3 because I'm close to finishing Never. And I'm starting these 2. See, the thing is this might be a 5 star because I'm not thinking it's gonna be a 5 star, and this I think is gonna be a 5 star because I've heard great things about it. So wouldn't that be fun if one of these 2 was a 5 star? I've heard that this was really cute, so I'm just not expecting Act Your Age, Eve Brown to be a 5 star. I'm just expecting it to be like a 3.75 or like a 4 because it's just supposed to be really cute, sweet romance that you're just supposed to eat up. And then this I heard is like gothic, and there's some sub romance in here, but it's mostly fantasy, very dark. They have an interesting system of magic that deals with cards, which is all I know. So hopefully I will get some footage. I think I genuinely forgot that I was doing this video. So we are officially on chapter 16, 168 pages into One Dark Window. And I am loving it, I will say that. So, still don't know if we have a 5 star. And I'm like, am I being really picky? I don't know. Because the thing with Crescent City is that I really loved it. It just didn't give me like 5 stars. But I'm really anxious to read the next one, but I still haven't finished Throne of Glass. I'm looking for actually, let's go back to the book that I'm actually reading, and let's talk about One Dark Window. So we are loving it. I don't know if it's giving 5 stars just yet, but I'm enjoying it, and I feel like I definitely will finish it by tomorrow because I have been listening to it as well on Spotify. I am actually obsessed with Spotify having audiobooks because they have a lot of unlimited audiobooks actually. The only downside is it's only 15 hours, but I heard you could top it off. So I think it's in increments of 10, which still kind of sucks because I don't want to have to spend that much to top it off. But I don't know. I have to see because I was using Audible, and I'll see if this one is worth it or if I like it more. Right now, I'm liking it more because I feel like there's more included with your membership, but at the same time, you don't have a lot of listening hours, and you also, even if you listen on 2x speed, they still count the total time of the book. So like if your book was 8 hours and you listen to it if your book was 8 hours and you listen to it on 2x speed, it still counts it as 8 hours read instead of counting as 4 hours read, which, like, I mean, I get it. That does make sense, right? Because it is an 8-hour book. You just listen to it fast. But again, I feel like it should, I don't know, I just feel like it should be more time, or like instead of increments of 10, you could choose your increment and then just pay like a certain amount for increments, or I don't know, just do something else, make it just a smidge better because I'm loving it, but the 15 hours of listening time is not great. But they're like, they have so many great book choices. So we'll see. I will probably end up topping it off and using it for a couple months and seeing if it is overall better than Audible, or I might have to go back to Audible, because either way, I think right now it's like you really only get like one book a month technically, because, well, unless the book is just really short on on Spotify, then like 1.5 books. And who wants to get halfway through? I think for me though, it still is good because with books like One Dark Window, I have the physical book and then I also have it on audio. So like times when I'm not listening to it, I can read here, which I guess will technically take away my read time, because if I read like an hour here and then I go back to listening, then that takes away an hour from me actually listening to the book. I'm getting on like a little, I'm getting on talks away from why I actually like this book. But yes, so why I actually like this book is I think it's actually really unique. There's this own magic system, which I just feel like I've never read this in a book. So like it's based off of cards. So when you're younger, you can get infected from like the mist, and it usually affects those who are younger, and then the infection can lead you to being able to have magic, and magic comes with a price. So the price could be going insane or just like straight up dying. So another thing is that you only live to a certain age if you get infected and if you get this magic, because it degenerates you. So again, like you die, or you go insane and slowly die. Either way, like magic comes with a price. And so no one lives long if they get this curse, this magic. And anyone who's known to be infected has to, like, you know, you need to tell the king and inform the king, because they lock you away in this like dungeon, and who knows what goes on in the dungeon. We don't know what really goes on in the dungeon, but we just know that if you're infected, you're going there and you're most likely not coming out. So there are all these cards, and the kings are trying to collect the cards to like get rid of the mist. And so Elspeth, like, is the main character, and she got infected when she was younger, and then she touched one of the cards, and now she like calls it the monster inside her head. So I guess it's not really a spoiler, because on the back it tells you that there's like a monster inside of her head. And this happens all pretty like in the beginning. Like, I'm now in chapter 16, and there are like people who try to like steal the cards, I guess, because they're trying to get the magic, and there are some people who are trying to cure this magic. So it's pretty crazy. I think some of it is a little bit confusing because it's all like new, but it's set up very well. We're like getting answers to things, and I'm just like, wait, what? But yeah, I think any fantasy is generally usually confusing, because there's like this whole world building, and you have to get used to like what their system is. If like they have a system of magic like this here, you have to get used to that. Or if you know, there's like fae and vampires, you gotta get used to that, because every book that has fae is not the same. Like, they have their own little things going on, so you always have to get used to that. And so that's why the first book in a series usually is a lot of like getting used to it. The next day, and I just had to pop a Tylenol. I literally just had to pop a Tylenol because I'm cramping so bad. So the search for 5-star is still on and going strong. I'm drinking a little poppy here. This is the Doc Pop. This is like my favorite flavor. It's so good. I heard that Olipop is better, but I'm a little nervous to try Olipop because like the ingredients, and I have allergies, and this is basically just like a bunch of apple. I'm not allergic to apple, so we've been rolling with the poppy. I tried the cherry limey flavor, wasn't feeling it. So far, this and the raspberry rose are like the best. Raspberry rose is like my #1, and then it would be this Doc Pop. So I'm just chilling. Today is a little bit of a busier day. I have like a lot of doctor's appointments for the kids, and then have a doctor's appointment for myself. So, last night I was listening to One Dark Window. Two Twisted Crows is the next one. Excuse my toddler behind me. I was listening to One Dark Window last night. My Spotify hours ran out, and I literally went on a rant about how I hate how it's only 15 hours of listening time, and my hours ran out because I listened to some autobiographies last month in January, so it doesn't renew until 12 more days, which is fine. I can finish reading it tonight because I have a physical book. But right now I don't have the time to read, so I have on Libby, Act Your Age, Eve Brown. So we're gonna start this on Act Your Age, Eve Brown, and I really know nothing about this book. I'm going into it completely blind. I just assume that Eve Brown is the main character and that she's a little bit immature, so that's why it's called Act Your Age, just because she needs to like grow up a little bit. So I'm just expecting really cute romance vibes. I don't know how long the audio is. This book itself is almost 400 pages, which is 375 pages. So, you know, the last book I think I checked in with you guys on was, I think,
One Dark Window, but then I paused One Dark Window and because my Spotify time had ran out. So I paused that and then I went from there to, oh gosh, I can't even remember what I read. Okay, so for this video, I have read Crescent City, Act Your Age, Eve Brown, and then didn't really even check in with you guys on that. I have failed this video so much and I'm so sorry. I gave you like no updates. I gave you like little clips of what I was reading. I'm so sorry. It's safe to say that I have now found a 5-star read, because we're gonna end it here. I actually did find 2 5-star reads in this video, which I'm so excited that I found. The first one being Kender, and this is also why I have not updated you guys because I found that they have Hulu. They have a Hulu show on this book. This is a 5-star read. This book is so short too. It's about Dana, this girl, and it's so confusing because in the show they're like in 2016, but like in the book they're in 1970. I didn't even realize this book was not new. I thought this was a new book, and then I started researching all about Octavia Butler, and I'm like, why have I never like heard about her? Why did I think this was like a brand new book? Because it took place between 2 different timelines, 200 years prior, where there were slaves and they were in Baltimore, Maryland. Here they're in, are they in California? Yeah, they're in California. I had to think some stuff in the show was changed, so I'm like, I'm not trying to confuse the two. I'm trying to tell you about this, not the show. But you should watch the show too, because the show is very, very good. But it takes place in those 2 time frames. Dana is being drawn back to, is it 18? I guess the 1850s, something like that, when they had slaves. I can't think of the exact year right now, but she keeps getting drawn back to that time. So then obviously this is really scary for her because she's Black, and now she's being thrown back into a time where there were slaves. The fear that she felt was understandable, and oh man, it was such a good read. I plan to read so much more from her because she has other books, but her mind is like amazing. And I found out after Googling about Octavia Butler that she actually was dyslexic, and I'm like, what? I read this and I never would have thought that. And when I tell you, this book was so good. Like, not even just 5-star. I would say this is a 6-star. This was a good read. This is a really good read, and this makes me want to read more sci-fi. This wants me to try to find more sci-fi authors of color too, because she was really big in the sci-fi. I don't think this is, I don't know if this would really be classified as sci-fi or something else, but I feel like it has that element of going back in time. So maybe, I think some people classify it different, but regardless, a lot of her other work is sci-fi. And so I am so excited to read more by her. The fact that, too, in this book, Dana is Black and her husband is white also plays a really big importance in here, because he actually does, have, I always have to draw the line of where I'm getting spoilery at, but it just played a big part in here because obviously she's being thrown back in time, and so there's the element of like, how do you believe that someone is like these things that someone are telling you? It was so good. It was heavy. The ending. If you do watch my channel, this is the thing you need to take from me, is read this book. okay? Because it was that good. Like I am constantly thinking about it. And I didn't think like, well, I didn't think it was gonna be a like 6-star, 5-star. I thought it was gonna be up there. I thought it was gonna be like a 4 because I heard really good things about it. But I did not expect myself to love it that much, to still be thinking about it that much. It's also on Libby too. There wasn't like a really big hold time for it. So you could probably go on Libby and listen to it. You need to read this book. Like I cannot stress that enough, is read this book, okay? Next, 5-star, which I also did not anticipate being a 5-star. I mean, I did, but like I really didn't. I was like, it could be a 5-star, but I think it could also just be like a really high 4. Like both of these books, I was like, I feel like they have a chance, but they're not. There's no way that it's going to be a 5-star read. So I think Kinder was definitely a 6-star. One Dark Window is a 5-star. The system in here, the magic system in here, is so unique. They have cards in here that affect the magic, and Elspeth, the main character, just like, because she's infected, and so one of her, like, well, they already say on the back, so I guess it's not a spoiler, but like she has like a monster basically inside her head, so you get to hear like the banter between them, and then to find out, oh, and the end, I picked up book 2, so that is high up on my TBR for me to read, because the ending got me shook. I'm just like, how is the second, like, what are they gonna do in the second book? Because the way it ended was really good. And this is my first dabble into, well, I think this is more like gothic, like darker fantasy, I think, like that genre, and it was so good. I cannot stop thinking about this. As soon as I went to Barnes, I picked up the second one, and I couldn't just not leave seeing it there. Oh, I love this video. I'm sorry that I didn't give you more, so maybe, you know, we can do it again. As a reader, you're always gonna be like on the search for like a 5-star, 6-star read, and so I can do this video again. Hopefully this time I actually give you more footage and more intel on the book. I wasn't feeling the best, to be completely honest. I'll talk a little bit about some of my feelings in a video that I just recorded. So that, and being sick, the kids being sick, a lot going on with that. It's crazy how sick you get when you have kids, because I feel like I'm always sick. Also, the second corporate, the second thing that has been taking all of my time is my Switch. I have been obsessed with Fae Farm. I cannot. It's just so cute. And I finally got to this one point where I now have like this little chickadee or cockapoo, something like that. But it's like a little chicken basically. So I now have my first chicken. And so I've just been listening to audiobooks. I honestly have listened to a whole other audiobook that I'm about to finish, and I was like, wait a minute, because I was looking at my Goodreads and I realized that I hadn't updated the ratings on these 2 books, and I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I just not rating anything? And I was like, oh yeah, I have to like tell everyone that I have 2 new favorite reads, and I love the concept of doing this video. So next time I will try to read and not just listen and play Fae Farm, but it just depends on my what I'm vibing with right now. And right now I'm really vibing with the Switch and listening to audiobooks. I was on Amazon looking for like a new cover, just because like the part right here, this little bum part is starting to get messed up, but I mean it still looks pretty good, so I could probably ride this a little longer until the wheels will fall off, you know. Yeah, so if you made it this far, let me know your favorite Switch game. Let me know if you've read any of these books. Let me know what you thought it was gonna be, because I really thought it was gonna be Crescent City. And if it wasn't Crescent City, then I was thinking it was gonna be either The Long Shot, which I'm reading now, or I thought it was gonna be Magnolia Parks, which I also am reading right now at the same time. And I think we have another 5-star too, so I think we're actually on a roll. Thank you for watching. Bye.